We are
good to go.
recording.
I guess we don't have Randy.
Yeah.
Randy,
I've not heard, so
I haven't heard a thing.
might just be you two.
okay, well, we can do that. I know Randy is actually off on a new
New adventure.
deployment.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, so
I didn't know that.
Don't know that he's going to continue with it, so we'll.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Not in the area, right?
No, it is here,
Oh.
but it's,
The hours are keeping him from it.
yeah, the hours apparently are pretty wild. So I guess we'll keep going. Is Kim?
Kim, are you on?
I'm on.
Kim, gee,
Yes,
It's like speaking from.
sound like you're from heaven.
sorry. Was that too loud?
No.
Huh? We miss you here. All right, let's call the meeting to order. And Kim, would you note the presence of a quorum, please?
Mayor Cook,
I am here.
Jim Ake,
Yes, I'm here too.
we do have a quorum.
Thank you. And Mr. Ake, let's act on the minutes of our April 28th meeting.
I
Any
move.
questions?
No questions. I move that we accept the meeting minutes as stated.
I will second. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Second item here is BS Engineering and Westfield Trails Supplement number 1. I assume that is you, Mr. Long.
Actually, I think Mr. Nail's on.
Mr. Nail
Yes,
is in the heaven.
Yeah. If City Hall is heaven, then I'm coming to you from heaven. That's right. So this supplement is for our trail connection project down at 156th Street and Westfield Boulevard.
You're finally going to do that?
We are. So there's a trail stoppage along Westfield Boulevard at the US 31 bridge, as well as a gap along 156th Street. We are going to connect those trails up to Natalie Wheeler, so there's a connection to Cool Creek Park. The original contract assumed the use of some existing trail. After we got into some design, we looked at actually bridging Cool Creek with this new trail, and that is the crux of this supplemental. There's some additional permitting involved and some additional structural design for that bridge involved to make that happen. The additional supplemental is for $68,145, and we have reviewed this. We feel it's in line with what we would expect to pay for the additional scope required for this work.
So additional questions with that?
No.
Okay.
Questions?
I have none.
So what's your intended construction?
Construction timeline is going to be completely permittal schedule. The permitting is going to drive the schedule. So when the reason, and it is a sizable increase, we were going to plan to take it to here, cross south, and connect into the Cool Creek Trail right here. Doing that, we would have then had 3 mid-block crossings. And you would have had to, if you were going from the Natalie Wheeler to the Monon, you'd have to cross there, cross back, cross this road again. We decided, bite the bullet, let's do it right the first time. So that's what's triggering the environmental study, some additional permitting requirements, and obviously the structure that's going to cross the bridge. So now we'll have this crossing. You'll still have a Cool Creek crossing there. And then someday, hopefully soon, maybe even with the same timeline, we'll have a crossing over here or an extension south so that this Westfield Boulevard connection is also connected to the Monon. So we would then really finalize the Monon Midland Loop through this entire area.
So back up at the Cool Creek area right there.
Yep.
You're utilizing the existing crossing and one additional crossing on 156th Street?
So we're leaving
Yeah.
the existing crossing. There will not be a 156th Street crossing at this point, but we're extending the trail from where it dead ends underneath US 31 to the intersection and north up to the Natalie
Okay.
Trail.
All right, so we're not adding any crossings to what's already there.
Correct. Not at this time. There may be one further south.
That sounds good. So now you can get from Natalie Wheeler all the way over to the Mona.
Correct.
So you're completing our second of 3 crossovers, and you're close to the other.
Yeah, 161st Street will make that third one when we do the
I'm thinking
roundabout.
of 169.
Well, yeah, 169, we almost have the property. It'll be built this year.
And with this, do you have to buy property?
We may need to acquire some right of way up here on this parcel, and I think it's owned by the county. Nope, it's owned by that gentleman. So yeah, there will be some right of way acquisition here.
So this
once we
Be
get
a
permitting.
next year construction?
I hope so. Some of our permitting is taking a long time. So I
Yeah,
won't
we're
commit.
we're on about a 9-month wait right now for construction for the permitting, from what I understand.
That would be our hope and goal, and it is included in the proposed budget that will go for 2022.
Will our trail flood along with the kitchen physicians or whatever's there?
John, are we putting at grade, or is this going to be a boardwalk style all the way through from 31?
The permit will dictate some of that, but likely at grade wherever we can.
So the short answer is probably some of it.
So it may close
Yep.
some of the time. Okay,
Yep.
no problem. Mr. A, any questions?
No, sir. Much needed.
Entertain a motion.
I move that we approve VS Engineering and the City of Westfield Trail Supplement Number 1, action item number 2.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Got that, Kim?
I do, thank you.
And next up, City of Westfield and Lou Ann Pierce agreed findings. Explain that.
Yeah, so we had some land acquisition up for the East Street Extension Project, which is under construction now. Ms. Pierce owned a couple properties there on the corner. We unfortunately had to go through the eminent domain process to acquire those. The court decided, or the court ordered appraisals, valued the property at $662,000, which is what we issued to the court. They appealed that, and so we went to mediation a few weeks ago. The Pierces were requesting $770,000, I believe. And then we ultimately settled on $707,000. So essentially, your approval will allow us to issue the $45,000 payment for the delta from 662 to 707.
Okay, so you've already paid.
We've already paid 662,
Okay.
and we'll have to pay an additional 45 as a part of this agreement.
Does that complete your land acquisition for East Street?
I believe it does, and the road's already being built across the top of this property. So the house is gone and all those things. We've just been working through this in the background.
Very good. I would no more questions, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve action item number 3, Jamaica, City of Westfield and Luann Pierce agreed findings from the court.
I will second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? 2-0 here, Kim. Number 4 is WSP City of Westfield, professional services on call, number 23.
Yeah, so we approved last month two right-of-way acquisition services contracts with WSP. This is a third one, just for the East Street curve correction adjacent to the State Road 32 project for 6 parcels. The unit rates are in line with the previous ones you had approved, and we're anticipating 6 parcels impacted by this project. So I'd ask that you approve this so that WSP can begin right-of-way acquisition services for this portion.
And where is this now?
It is on East Street, just north of State Road 32. There's a bit of a reconstruction as part of the 32 project that corrects the curve in East Street. And this is right-of-way acquisition services for that portion of the job.
So once our roundabout's constructed, he'll realign this section of the road to eliminate that very sharp zigzag.
The new construction limits of East Street go that far also, is that right?
Yes, yeah, correct. Yeah, so this will, with the roundabout, this will be new up through here. Almost to Sycamore.
And the cost of this?
It is $44,060.
These are the design,
This is the land acquisition.
the land acquisition.
The design is being done with State Road 32 project.
Okay, okay. So this East Street alignment, even exclusive, let's say, of the 32 project, is part of our thoroughfare plan. It is a major,
Yeah, it's long overdue improvement.
yes.
And if for some reason State Road 32 doesn't move forward, we would very likely need to do this as a local project
Yes,
anyway. Yeah,
Well, this has been much anticipated,
so for sure. Yeah,
so.
it's been an issue for many, many years.
understood. Would entertain a motion if there's no more questions.
I move to approve action item number 4, WSP City of Westfield on-call right-of-way acquisition services.
I will second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2-0 here, Kim. Number 5 is H&N Outdoor Services Irrigation.
This is a new agreement with H&N Outdoor Services, which effectively for $2,025 per year, they are going to winterize and start up our 9 irrigation systems that we own throughout the city in various right-of-ways and parks. And then if in repair on a time and material basis, any problems we have throughout the year for $85 an hour plus materials. So this is a scope that was previously in the Brightview contract, maintenance agreement contract for overarching for the city. We are pulling it out and hiring this company, H&N Outdoor Services, to do this. It is worth note that we had an operator that recently left us to start his own company. Well, he had started it long ago and it's bloomed into a full-time job for him. He was also our irrigation expert. So with him went our knowledge.
You're inside.
Yep, and much reduced rate compared to Brightview. We will enter into this agreement on an annual basis and he'll keep our systems running.
So are these 9 locations of various sizes, I assume, number of heads?
They are, so we think about any roundabout landscaping landscaping, those irrigation packages. So anywhere we have a landscape package in a roundabout, it has an irrigation system as well, plus a couple of the parks.
Well, it's
You may,
per unit, that's a lot less than I pay at home.
it is a pretty good deal and you might want to reach out to him to.
Yeah.
But, and what it does also, quite honestly, is in the spring, Brightview, and you've seen this on your local roundabouts where our irrigation systems aren't on and our plants aren't thriving in the spring because Brightview is trying to keep up with mowing and landscaping. Having this separate will put the focus on this, making sure things are going
I
well.
see a lot of landscape companies, a lot of tall grass out there right now.
There is. They're all struggling.
Similarly, we can't get served at restaurants either, right? So does this include the required backflow
It
tests?
does, yes.
I have no questions.
All right.
I'll make a
Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the H&N Outdoor Services and City of Westfield irrigation contract action item number 5.
I will second. Calling for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? 2-0, Kim. Number 6, Reith Riley and 171 in Cary. Much anticipated here. The orange signs are up.
Yes, they are. They are. So this is our construction contract with Reith Riley for them to construct our 171st and Cary roundabout. The bid, they were the low bidder. We received 5 bids from various contractors. Reith Riley was the low responsible bidder at $527,384.85. So I would ask that you guys approve this contract so we can get started at the beginning of June on this roundabout project.
What's the
So,
completion
yeah.
date on that? John,
Say that again, Jim, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what's the completion date estimate?
July 26th.
Okay,
So June 7th to July 26th, it's about 45 days.
good.
So yeah, the goal is to get that constructed while school is out so we don't impact any bus traffic.
When we post dates publicly, we would like to push that out a couple weeks just in case it rains. So,
Jesus, it rains.
Yep. Yeah, of course, that's weather dependent, but the goal is to get this done while school is out.
We don't use the W word, you know that, John. Okay, does this have, is it just all concrete in the middle of it?
no, John. Go ahead.
It's the decorative. We have the decorative concrete like you see in other roundabouts. It's just a smaller circle, smaller single lane circle for the overall roundabout.
Does it have any plantings in the middle, or is it just, I mean, this is basically.
We're not going to have plantings with this contract, but we can go in and landscape as we do with other roundabouts in the future.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is our first attempt at a single lane roundabout, right?
Purely single lane roundabout, correct, yes.
All right,
And you'll notice that the cost of the construction of this roundabout is
is
$547,000.
compared to $2 million,
Yeah,
and
right.
I thought you probably mentioned that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to remember that, very good. Good, effective use of our money, Jeremy, thank you. Any questions, Mr. Ray?
No, sir.
I entertain a motion.
I move to approve action item number 6, Ruth Riley Construction Company and City of Westfield, 171st Street and Cary Road intersection improvements.
I will second. We'll take a vote. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 2-0, Kim.
Thank you.
Resurfacing program.
And I will kind of take it from here. Mr. Nail has up at City Hall with our historical review board meeting
Oh, yes.
for State Road 32. So I'll cover the rest of the items. The next,
Thank you.
thanks,
Thanks,
John.
John.
The next item is our 2021 resurfacing program, currently out to bid. Based on project estimates, we will be in the under $2.8 million based on the scope of work that we have out to bid. I'm asking today for signing authority to approve that contract or sign that contract, assuming it is below the $2.8 million mark.
And I assume that 2.8, is this what includes our $1 million, what's it called?
Community crossing.
Community crossings.
So $1 million of that money is reimbursable based on our 50-50 match grant from
Yes.
the state of Indiana.
And I believe you were the proud owner of the only $1 million award in Hamilton County. Is that right, Mr. Muller?
I don't know that for sure. I mostly
do.
look at just
I
us
was
and see how
giving
much
you
we
the
get.
chance to
Yeah,
take
good.
credit for it. Yes, you were the only one in Hamilton County.
Fantastic. And that credit goes to Mr. Dustin Shue. He does a great job.
Yes, he does. He also paints our streets.
That'll be coming up, I believe. Oh, no. Sorry.
Good. I've seen the list and it's a lot of resurfacing.
It is.
I miss our signs though.
Are making it smooth signs or?
Pardon me while I get smooth.
We can see if
I
we can
really
revitalize
miss,
that program.
huh?
Probably revitalize that program.
Would you please?
I'll do everything in my power, yes.
I thought that was cute. Any questions?
No, sir. I move to approve action item number 7, 2021 resurfacing program, giving you signing authority, Jeremy. Jimmy.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2-0. And next is Asphalt Rejuvenate. So after you pave it, then you rejuvenate it. Is that right?
We do. So part of our pavement maintenance program is a product called Rejuvetech, is who we put down in the past. This is also out. There's other products, but it's a public bid type situation. What it is, think of it as a clear sealer that goes on the asphalt, usually the year following being resurfaced. What that does is it blocks out water, basically. So water is what causes the deterioration in the asphalt. We come through, we apply this, and it adds, we haven't fully know yet, but we're expecting 5 to 7 extra years on the life cycle of the surface.
So how many years you been doing this now?
I believe this is the 4th or 5th.
You are watching
We are,
from
yeah.
year 1 through whatever,
Absolutely,
how it's
yeah.
working?
We started as a pilot program a number of years ago. Again, Dustin Shue, it manages and oversees that. You can see a noticeable difference from year 3 to 5, and we'll continue to monitor it. And when we did it as a pilot, we were looking for immediate results to see whether or not we're going to do it continuously, and it's proven to be value add to the integrity of the pavement.
That's not the same surface treatment that you did on the Midland west of Spring Mill, is it?
No, it is not. So that is a microsurface application.
Yeah.
Um,
How'd that work out for you?
It's working really well. Midland West, am I thinking of the right?
West of Myers.
Yes, yeah. So, and we've done it on the Monon as well, and we've done it down here in front of the school on Cary Road.
Yeah.
Effectively, what that does is allows us to come through, cut out any deficiencies, patch them, seal them, and then you put a new, really thin layer of, and we self-perform all that, really thin layer of a heavy-duty parking lot pavement is what it is. It's a parking lot resurfacer. It's got a little more aggregate in it, and given that there's no vehicular traffic on it, we think it'll prolong the life of our trails for hopefully not have to be resurfaced.
You've got a lot of trails too.
We do, and we postponed that application last year just because of the uncertainty associated with revenues. But we will pick it up again this year. It'll be back on the Monon. We'll take the Monon from where we stopped all the way up to, I believe, 169th Street. So it'll look, for all practical purposes, it looks like
new surface, right?
Yep.
Very good. Questions, Mr. Ray?
No, sir. Move to approve action item number 8, 2021 Asphalt Rejuvenate Program, giving you the signing authority, Jeremy.
I will second. Take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous here, Kim. And number 9 is Spring Mill Center Road. Explain that.
There is so what is being proposed is a road impact fee credit agreement with Spring Mill Center, which is the development at the corner of, I guess, the northeast corner of State Road 32 and Spring Mill Road. Specifically, what we are crediting is the cost of constructing Tournament Trail through that from boundary to boundary. So from this edge over to Spring Mill Road. It is creditable due to the requirement of 32 overlay. Same agreement that we've had really along the 32 corridor on all developments. The value of the credit is $1.32 million. That is reimbursed as they generate impact. Which it sounds like that site is picking up in activity.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Okay.
So we're trying to get this through, and they hope to break ground on this year. So that Tournament Trail portion will be done this year.
Do you have any idea how much of the total improvement that covers as far as the roadway itself? Does that cover all of it?
This builds Tournament Trail from Spring Mill to their
It does,
east
in full.
boundary. Yes. And here I have some fancy exhibits that I assembled here we can look at, because I should have thought about that. Here's the alignment of what it will be. All of these different properties will pay into that reimbursement, and inclusive of the Greenway Trail. I should have included that. So the trail The road and the detention necessary is in blue. Those are all creditable.
So that includes the trail.
It does, yes.
And we have what do we have, a 30-foot around the trail? Is that part of our
Yes.
thing, isn't it?
So it's the greenway is
Yeah,
a
the greenway,
30-foot
that's what you
strip
said.
behind the NDOT right of way. That is a linear park that the city owns and maintains.
Seems to be working out well.
It does. And in the areas that we don't have a trail, there's conveniently a sidewalk located there that kind of close the gaps until it's built all the way across.
Yeah.
I have no further questions. So
A motion?
I move that we approve action item number 9, Springville Center Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement.
Second? We'll vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Kim? Now, A&F Engineering. What in the world?
So yeah, for your knowledge, Steve Fairbach, owner of A&F Engineering, is here with us today. I will note that since the agenda was posted last Friday, we added Appendix E to the document, which is simply an addendum to the contract that was originally proposed to add our E-Verify and non-discrimination language, which is in our standard contracts nowadays. But the scope of the work is our road impact fee study.
Oh, now is it time again?
Every 5 years, we per statute, we have to update our road impact fee study, the zone improvement plan, and then subsequently update the ordinance that allows us to collect impact fees. A&F has done did the last one, and they are really the leader in the Indiana area for this traffic study type stuff. They are very, very good, and the fee that I am proposing is also calculated into the Road Act impact fee assessment. So we get reimbursed this money over time during our road impact fee collections. So all the improvements necessary over the forecast, which is a 10-year period, compact down to understand what the trip generation is and establishes our impact fees. So this kicks off the study, allows them to start collecting data from all of our intersections throughout the city and developing our capital improvement plan, our needs.
So you use it for that also?
Of course,
Yes.
yes. So
But are these guys competitive?
they are competitive. They're the best in the business. The cost is in line with what we would expect, and I would propose that we move forward.
And they're okay?
They do all right. Yeah, they do all right. Total fee is $302,400. That includes all the traffic data collection and the development of the report.
This is a 5-year requirement?
Yeah, the
I
statute
remember.
requires that we address this every 5 years.
And
We are in year 3.5. The ordinance has to be passed 6 months prior to being enforceable. So our target is this time next year to have the ordinance up for consideration.
Very good. Straight, you've been through this before?
I'll make a motion to approve action item number 10, A&F Engineering Road Impact Fee Study.
I will second. We'll vote. All in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Kim? And let's talk about Station 81.
Those are up on the screen, but we made copies for you before we put them up. You're back.
You want it? You can have it.
Sorry, I think.
You want this copy?
Don't worry about the project summary because they have a copy of that. Do the facilities. Well, do the drawings. That's what we got here. Okay,
This
that's
got drawings.
yeah. So what we're here today is to seek approval for you guys, for us to send out the RFP for this project. We've been working on this now for, well, a good 2 years. It's taken different iterations, but This is, the facility in itself it's a total of 36,000 square feet, but that's not just all fire station, that's also the administration component. And so, I guess just philosophically, when you build this a bricks and mortar facility, a fire facility, we really want to, the current facility we're in, I think barely got us, just a little over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys are more familiar with
20 years of hard
labor.
365
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
24-hour use.
So, we really want to get something closer to 50 years out of something like this. And so part of that philosophy is that you want to build something that you can grow, but what can expand into if you need to. And that includes adding people, adding companies, that kind of thing. So it will, what else do we got? I was going to see if we can get some actual, let's do some renderings while I talk about this too. So go back. Anyway, Eric Beeman from Cripe.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Eric Beeman from Cripe couldn't be here. He's a little under, but he's been very helpful. Chief Gaylor, I'll probably turn him loose here in a minute. But basically, the gist of this is that we need to build a facility that can house what we need today, and then also looking forward to the future. If you take a look at where this thing sits right in the middle of the township. And if you see all the developments going out there on Ditch Road and such, it's well located. That's kind of those are the conceptual drawings of it. This also includes a shop facility. So we have a fire mechanic who's on duty 5 days a week, and then on call on weekends, who works on our apparatus. And so we have a separate facility for that. So he'll be able to work on his apparatus without, currently we actually have to use up basically 1 or 2 bays for him to work on our apparatus currently in our current configuration. So all of them are drive-through bays. Anything to add to that, Chief?
So the initial concept in 2019 was basically a campus that included a fire station administration building and then what we call a fleet services building on that campus. Some things have changed and now we've just kind of developed that under one roof. So that's why the facility has grown in scope and scale from 24,000 square feet to 36,000 square feet under one roof. So the proposal today is to send out for RFPs with some contractors that we have researched their qualifications. They've already been through the RFQ process to get more teeth into the design of the building and narrow in the dollars and cents, so to speak.
Yeah, and it is a design build concept.
Okay, it is a pure design and build
Yes.
concept.
And the groups for performance services and Hagerman RQAW that are going to be the two that
Or who?
RQAW, Hagerman and RQAW design build team.
They're
They're the
They're one
design
of the
build.
contractors.
Design build.
Okay.
One of the design build teams, yes.
Our QAW would be the engineer that do tons of this municipal type
Yeah.
stuff, from schools and jails to fire stations. And then Hagerman Group is obviously a reputable contractor.
So with that, I mean,
They are the what?
They are the design build team.
Okay,
right.
and they were chosen by your.
They've not been chosen. That's what we're here today is to send out based on these renderings and this information, send this information to Hagerman and to Performance Services. So their team can put together proposals for us to accept.
What's the other thing I was gonna add? I think, that's it. I think, well, I guess I would say this, I think, if you look at the project budget information that comes in, I think the total comes in a little, just under 13 million. And I think if you're to take a look at what's going on out there in terms of materials.
You hate to
and-
say anything till it bids.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And so I think, the site sits out on Ditch Road, sits on, it's gonna sit on the east side of Ditch between 171st and that substation.
And this is land
That's
we
all-
already own.
Correct.
Correct, yeah. Osborne Trail.
You have utilities there.
Utilities are close.
Utilities are close
Close
by.
enough.
The biggest, one of the two fairly significant costs of the site itself is we're gonna have to raise it up, I wanna say about 2 feet, right? To get out of the flood zone. And then water sewer piece is gonna have to come from, I think, 100 down there on 171st somewhere.
It exists over here. My assumption, I can't
Yeah.
make any promises, but by the time you guys go to construction, you'll see development over here that'll bring it to a little closer to the site.
Good.
So
That's the
Jeremy, do
focus.
you have plans to join this campus?
We don't have official plans. It has certainly been discussed for us to potentially move at least a portion of the city maintenance facilities out here.
You need some salt out there.
We need a salt barn. It is centrally located to the township where we will be. It's a better permanent home for us. Really, we waste a lot of time trying to get across 31 to fill with salt and things.
Yeah.
So as it is today, we partner with NDOT and utilize a barn at their facility right here.
It's on 30.
Right here.
Yeah.
Who knows how long that can last? It's just kind of a handshake agreement at this point. They're letting store salt there and it helps our operation, but as soon as they need to expand, which likely will be in the near future, we'll need to
Okay,
look for another facility.
so then again, to get all this all straight, this authorizes you to
Basically send the RFPs to these two groups and that's the piece of action.
Have them start bidding,
Have them
have them start
yeah.
design, put some numbers to papers, bring it to us so we can
those-
select.
And then we'll be
those
bringing,
two.
yep, you're doing two groups.
This is a little different process than what we would typically see, and Marcus and I talked about it quite a bit. It's not common for us to bring an RFP for you guys for approval to go out. It's like a 600-page document.
610.
610 pages document. So they're requesting approval to issue it. It doesn't commit to anything other than the issuance of the RFP and all the other stuff.
We're not signing a contract.
Correct.
No,
No contract,
that's
this
down
does
the
not
road.
cost us anything today. This is just formalization and step.
I pretty much know.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a big step forward. You guys ready for a new building?
Yes, ready for a new building? Yes.
I can
Will
see Joe
you-
with his hand up over there.
We brought the building core through the
Do
other
you
day.
swear to leave it in a condition or our police department?
It is in a condition right
That's what we
now.
want, we want the current condition.
Yeah, police would probably ask that you burn that building upon your leaving, but
Could fall in.
we'll work on that next. Chief, try to bring you a product you'll be proud of. So. All right, any other questions, Jim? That's a big move.
No.
No.
I move to approve.
Relocation project?
Yep.
All right, I will second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we have some resolutions.
Thank you.
We have one more action item.
Oh, you do have another one?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Cemetery Park.
Yes, so Old Friend Cemetery Park, located on Union Street. We have some historic pavers
Yep.
that are weathering and need of replacement. It's maintenance that's been needed for a long time. We were trying to develop a strategy to not have to replace them all because they are one of a kind. You can't go find them anywhere. So working with H&N Outdoor Services, the same company that was doing our irrigation, they'd helped us develop a plan that for $1,635, they will remove some in existing areas like where the bike racks are, fix everything that needs to be fixed, and then we'll replace this with concrete so that everything looks fluid and we get rid of the decaying pavers.
So we won't have any pavers.
We will absolutely have the same pavers. We're gonna be replacing the ones that are broken with existing pavers that are out there and then pouring concrete where those were.
I see, I get you.
So for 1635, we get to make that.
So
Bars.
these steps,
Mhm.
are they failing at all?
I don't believe so. If I recall, those are granite slabs.
Do you remember why I would ask that question?
No.
We're not sitting on a foundation.
Oh, because of the bodies.
We couldn't dig a foundation for those steps because of the bodies located therein. And we proceeded with, if they crack, we'll put a plaque up that says they're cracking because of the bodies. And there is no foundation for those steps.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know. I wasn't part of that project.
Well, there's local history that needs to be so noted.
That's good. They're holding up really well.
Absolutely true story.
You have a small mafia group around here?
It was kind of that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sounds like a good program, but what are you gonna do going forward? Eventually just pull out bricks and
Eventually, yeah.
repave?
Yeah, we'll have to pull it out. We contemplated stamped concrete, honestly, taking them all out and putting them in stamped concrete. That would have been closer to like $30,000. So
Oh,
it's, in a 10-year time frame that we've had this, maybe
it has
10
been 10 years.
10 years from now, we'll have to do something again, but at least we can keep the integrity and do it pretty cost effectively.
Yeah, that was embarrassing when we dug up that one body.
It was on a water tap for the
It was on a
irrigation
water
system.
tap, yeah.
Back when I was in the water department.
And I got blasted by people far away as Oregon for digging up bodies.
They weren't marked, though.
Yeah, there was nothing.
They weren't marked.
Yeah,
No, they weren't.
all the headstones, we are gonna actually renovate where the headstones are too, make that look a little nicer.
Good.
But all the headstones have been moved to the back and.
It's a history in itself.
It is, so.
All right. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion.
I move to approve action item number 15. What are we doing?
12.
12, sorry. I lost track, sorry. This is very exciting. When we talk about bodies, I got distracted. I just don't want to be spilled out on a sidewalk someday. Action item number 12, H&R Outdoor Services for Old Friends Cemetery.
I will second. We'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Right. 2-0 here. And then now we're moving to resolutions.
Yeah, so resolution 21-118 is a small purchases resolution that covers everyone except for public safety. They'll each have their own later. So all the other departments, Public Works, Communications, Grand Parking, et cetera. What it does is establishes the department directors and designees as purchasing agents for the city. So any small purchase under $50,000 can be approved by a department director so that we don't have to bring things like the $2,000 contracts back to the Board of Works for approval. So it's an efficiency thing. It speeds up the delivery of services and so on. And the city ordinance outside of public safety breaks this down a little bit further. So directors can approve anything 50,000 and below. Department supervisors can approve anything $25,000 and below, and director designees can make $5,000 purchases with the caveat that the director has to approve anything over $10,000.
So this is based on a city ordinance. Is that right?
So
State
law. State law. So the state allows for you to create a small purchasing policy for purchases under $50,000.
Okay.
So it's kind of a checks and balances. How do you set that up? You don't really have great guidance right now in your ordinances, and so that's what this resolution is for, is to adopt a small purchasing policy so that when you get to State Board of Accounts, if you follow it, they'll say, let me see your policy, you can give this resolution, and they can say, okay, you're good.
So this doesn't require any action from city council?
No, because the purchasing entity, once you became a city, became the Board of Public Works. You are the contracting body for this system. So as a town entity, it was the council because it was both the legislative and the executive branch.
Gotcha.
Now it's
All right.
I'll move-
Question?
No, I'll move to approve resolution action item number 13, City of Westfield Purchasing Practices Resolution 21-118.
I will second. We'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? I hear none. And police department, same thing, I guess.
Same thing, our designees are just named differently. So we have lieutenants and we have captains and we have fleet managers and training coordinators who kind of fill in our gaps.
Mhm. Numbers are, dollar values are the same.
Yes, sir.
Straight?
No questions, and I would make a motion to approve action item number 14, WPB Purchasing Practices Resolution 21-119.
I will second. We'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? None heard. Fire department, same thing, different names.
Yep, we used to have a little different names. There are a little few different designations in terms of what we allow. So we, our station captains are a smaller amount. And then some of our division chiefs and whatever, really, the numbers are, as you say, it's basically it's everything under 50,000, but Chief Gaylor pretty much manages that for us. So, but our battalion chiefs are, I think, are at 3,000. I think our division chiefs are, I can't remember now, 15 or what's it say? 3,000 for BCs, you go down, so our fleet person can go up to 10, division chiefs 25, and then fire chief deputy 25 to 50.
Very good. Great.
No questions, I'll make a motion to approve action item number 15, WFD Purchasing Practice Resolution 21-115.
I will second. We'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? None opposed? Consent agenda? Any questions here?
No, sir.
You have a new officer you wish to bring, is that right?
We do. Dakota Foot. The name's familiar because his wife is currently one of our records team people. She was our most recent hire in records. She's working out really, really good. He is actually a Zionsville police officer right now. They moved to Westfield and fell in love with Westfield. He just really wanted the opportunity to live and work in the same community. And so he was a Ball State grad. He's originally from New Haven, Indiana. And he's also a National Guard captain. He's been that since 2010. So be on drill every once in a while, and that's okay with us. He's a pretty sharp guy. And he and Christy have 2 kids. And that's about it. Dakota.
You took him away in Centennial?
He's not living in Centennial. We're capped.
Yeah.
You can only have so many cops per square mile.
So how many more do you have to hire as new, do you have any new positions yet to hire? I know you have some replacements to hire.
We have 2 more for that 10 that we were able to get last year. And then we're losing one of our young officers to actually just private. He's not gonna be a police officer anymore. So we'll actually have to hire 3 by the end of the year. So, and that gets us to 66.
Okay. Any question on the bond stuff we need to know? Good.
Typical bond release and acceptance.
Okay. Straight.
Move to approve the consent agenda as stated.
I will second. We'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Don't hear any. Chiefs of fire.
Well, we just, kind of along the same lines as Chief Rush, we've got 7 people now, going through a probationary process. They're lateral hires that we've made. Those 7 replace people who retired, and then we had two of our ladies, Courtney and Abby, went to IFD. So that's just what happens if you're in the Indiana Metroplex. But we have some really good folks, and that gets us whole. And then I think really the only other pieces are we have obviously through the bond process this last year, we're gonna take a new engine will be coming on probably late fall, and then in this year's the 2021-22 budget we have a truck, an aerial apparatus that we're gonna start speccing probably here sometime in the next few months, and
A ladder?
the ladder coming.
Will that be a replacement or?
It's gonna be replacement.
Okay, you still only need one.
Well, long-term we'll need a backup, but I think that's one of those that we aren't gonna spend 1.3 million on one. We'll figure out a way to do that a little bit.
We're okay with one.
We're okay.
Mr. Gaylor, you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, we'd like to have more.
Well, yeah, you
We
always.
still have engines to replace, so we've got.
Not a priority.
Yeah.
One is sufficient.
And your purchases, both of you, if I understand, your planned purchases you're proceeding with based on GO bond stuff, you're the one that's kind of held up by space with GO bond or its replacement funding because you're a year ahead of them, so. to speak.
Correct, yeah, so
You have questions on your.
Yep.
Okay.
We
so-
both utilize geo-bonding funding for our obsolescence strategies. I worked in the calendar year that the bond was issued, they work in the following year. I don't know why it's that way, it's just how it all has checked out over the years.
With that in mind, Counselor, and I don't mean to interrupt your report,
Not at all.
but we have a problem getting a determination out of our council as to GO bond usage that they passed and the effects it's having. Is there should this board in any form, can they do any kind of a resolution asking our council for a resolution to this funding issue that we're looking at?
You can, and that would just basically place it on the agenda for the council consideration, pushing the issue so that it becomes an open item and is out front, that needs to be addressed.
Okay, so we could propose a resolution here to be placed on the council agenda, is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a resolution to approach the council for determination as to the GO bond.
Well, I'd like to think about that, if we could discuss that further, please. Very good. Anything else?
No, I think that is it for me. You got anything?
Just our run numbers are up. We're looking at a 12% increase over last year. We're gonna be pushing over 4,100 calls by the end of the year.
Seems like it's, of course, half of those are at Bridgewater Health.
They've gone down the last couple of weeks, Mayor, just so.
Imagine that.
Everybody is.
Their problem is not only that, but I hear every one of them. I mean.
We wait when we drive by.
Yeah, I know, and not on my radio. I mean, I know exactly where they're going, and that is an editorial opinion, but I know that you are working on it.
Yes.
Very good.
I just have
And so's PD, by the way.
Yes, I understand that.
just a couple updates on some items that were already approved by this board. We had a promotion Sunday of 4 officers to the rank of sergeant. Devin Cornwell, Mike Wheeler, Song Kang, and Charles Nichols all became sergeants on Sunday. The 2 newest officers, Sterling Woods and Stefan Klijik, are in FTO right now. So that's all I've got today.
Because you don't ever want to talk about crime.
I'm not allowed to.
I know, you won't even talk about it. You know, you got an award, the #1 city, suburban city in America, because you 2 departments are so safe.
Among others, yeah.
Thank you. What do you have to say?
Nothing, really.
Pardon me while we get smooth.
I'm gonna order some new signs that say pardon me while we get smooth. We are also filling some staffing positions, so currently I have 6 open full-time positions. I have
6 open.
6 full-time position openings. We do have offer letters out to 2 full-times and 2 seasonals, so I'll bring some more information back next month. So we're still looking for a couple folks in the engineering group and a couple people for the maintenance team, so street department, parks department. Other than that, we're ramping right into construction season. We got a roundabout coming down here at 171.
Heard about that.
Cary, so I'll get you an MOT plan to how to get to work. It'll be very seamless. And then the other thing to make note is Friday, we open our new splash pad at Quaker Park. So that's going really well. Grand Junction's going gangbusters.
As complicated that is, I don't hear a thing about it.
The roads are
That's a
dirty.
good thing.
The roads are dirty, but
No, they're not.
I'm on them all the time.
Pickleball courts.
It's booming.
Is it?
That's
Pickleball
another
court.
thing we're honestly gonna have to look at for our capital plan is expansion of parking out there and maybe even another set of pickleball courts. Between the new splash pad, the upgraded playgrounds, a couple other features out there.
We're working on a project.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll have plenty of folks. for
We
your
got a
pickleball
bunch of
court.
road through there eventually.
Yeah, that's another one we're working on as well. So.
You're too happy.
Okay. Your overall projects, East Street, I
East
know
Street's
it's
going
moving
great. We've
along.
got asphalt up there.
Fantastic. I see the paving out there.
Yeah.
Um,
North section of that, so the road alignment north of Bastion Court will open up toward the end of July, which will be great for you all, because you're driving on a gravel road right now to access anybody, but yeah, it's going really well. Great X has done an incredible job out there, and we've got
Don't tell them that.
I'm not going to, lots of construction coming up, so lots of development. Private development, you can see all the stuff that's, we partnered with the Wheeler Landing team. So Tournament Trail is currently under construction between Wheeler Road and what will be Grand Park Boulevard.
It is?
That's what they're doing now, is putting storm in. The extension of Oak Ridge or Grand Park Boulevard.
Yeah. How's that
Directly
going?
north will come along, just following it was going to be built at the same time. Because of the timeline for Portillo's, Chick-fil-A, and 2 or 3 other outlots,
Yeah.
they're gonna build Tournament Trail and the section of road south of Tournament Trail to the intersection of 32 first, and then they'll be shooting north.
Then they'll take Grand Park Boulevard north, but you have to acquire some property at the very north end.
We do, and that is in process.
Okay. Then back to 32 and Wheeler.
Mhm.
That will be rebuilt
Yes, that starts very soon.
like this year.
It is done this year. It'll be done under traffic. So we bid it last year with the caveat that I believe they'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll start in June of this year, adds travel lanes, or turn lanes, and then signal improvements both at 32 and at Tournament Trail. So that it'll be coordinated and we won't have that death trap that currently exists.
Yeah, that's a mess.
So that goes under the bridge?
It does, yeah. So there'll be a signal right there with through traffic under the bridge, and then added turn lanes at 32 to help facilitate all that stuff.
How are you coming on 191 and Chad Hiddle?
It is prepping to go out to RFP if it is not already out. So we are
RFP
bidding,
for what?
bid for construction.
Bid for construction.
Yes.
You gonna try to start that this year?
Well, we've already started with utility relocates and things. We have all the right of way we need.
Yes. You have lights already in place.
We do
I
have
get
lights.
busted up because they're not on.
Well, it would, if we turned them on, you'd understand why they're not on.
Well, they're not plugged in.
'Cause they are back all the way to where the future roundabout will be.
Yeah.
We look really foolish to have streetlights that are 30 feet off the road.
You're trying to start that this year.
We are bidding it this year. It'll likely, in some capacity, start this year, but it's
Yeah.
probably gonna be more of a spring
Will that
22
be a-
project.
Total closure?
We are gonna build it under traffic.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so we'll do similar to what we've done with other road expansions. We'll build half, flip traffic over to it and build the other half. So we'll.
Just like you'll do with State Road 32.
Very similar, on a
Yes,
much smaller scale.
yes, I heard about that project.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay. Sounds like plenty.
And if you guys have extra time, Historic Review Board is hearing hopefully our final comments associated with the certificate of approval for the historic mitigation. I haven't heard any cheers coming from that way yet, so I assume they haven't voted.
Depends
yet.
on who's cheering.
That's also
Okay.
true.
We look forward to hearing how that goes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you, Kim.
Can you-
You.